So this is a little demo of OpenStack Okata, and also with the Magnum plugin enabled. The distribution or the package is DevStack, and it's running on Ubuntu 14.04. Furthermore, I'm running this DevStack instance in a KVM virtual machine on my CentOS 7 host. The virtual machine is configured to use 4 CPUs or 4 cores. The machine is a Skylake, Intel Skylake based. Memory is 16 gig, set to 16 gig here. The NIC is using VirtIO, and it is assigned to a internal and network, which furthermore uses NAT address translation. Let's see here, no, that was the wrong one. Yes, and the external network, further details here. It's a NAT network. It deploys DHCP with this range. Very well. This is the console, and I mean, if you type like this, everything will just scroll by, but typing this, one can see that the machine will be listening to this device called BRX-EX, and it has been assigned this IP address from the external NAT network. So we use the other one. Let's say we check out this one. Okay. Okay, so this is a standard terminal which I'm using to log into this KVM machine. It's nicer to work with since you have the full keyboard defined here, which I don't have for the KVM console there. Let's see here. This is the oh, it should be, or it doesn't exist. This should be the Horizon dashboard. Yes. So we can see here that under the project tab, since I also have the Magnum user interface component installed, I have this tab here, container infra, and the tab clusters, and currently one cluster is defined, the K8s cluster, using the key pair called test key. This is the definition of the cluster. It has one master node and then also one minion node. this is actually what you also get if one type this command from the CLI prompt, which is actually what I've been doing. You can note here I'm using the Fedora Atomic Okata base image. DNS server has an address here on the local NAT network. Overlay network is Flannel. TLS disabled, not having to work with the certificates, and the container engine is set to Kubernetes. Yeah, actually I guess the cluster template is what corresponds to these lines here. And then the cluster is the running incarnation of this cluster template. You can see a TLS disable, for example. External DNS address. Okay, so this is already running. I'm cheating here a little bit. I'm not showing you that the upstart, etc. But then under this tab here, which is the heat orchestration tab, there is a heat stack called KHS cluster. Click this one, click the topology. You can see here that these are the heat resources that Magnum have deployed to create this Kubernetes cluster. Floating IP is in use. A load balancer, the minion node, the master node. Network is also depicted as some kind of compute entity here. Further details from heat. You can see here that Kube master have this external address. Kube minion has this external address. And then there are further stack parameters. Yes, creation times for various resources here. Events pertaining to the creation of the cluster. Template, okay, this would be the heat template, which has been created by Magnum to create the cluster. We can see here on the compute that there are two nodes running. There is the minion node and there is the master node. First, looking at the network, you can see that there is this public network, which is a prerequisite when you're creating a Magnum cluster. And then Magnum have created this private network. And here are the two. Here is the minion node and here is the master node. So if you work a little bit here from this command prompt, I have also downloaded the kubectl tool to the host machine, running inside the virtual machine. and Magnum provides you with some environment variables, which then kubectl will use. So if I type, for example, this one here, it will show that within the cluster there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different system pods running. They have been running for a while. A little bit more, yeah, close to an hour soon. A little bit interesting is this that also Magnum also deploys the UI interface, which looks like this. It's I think it's actually deprecated now, but this is the old Kubernetes dashboard, and you get some information here. Here is actually all the pods within the cluster listed, running and not running ones. This one is not running, for example. This is being served out of the master pod. This is the external address of the master pod. Pods, well, nodes, the 2 nodes we have in the cluster, services, Kubernetes and the UI, which we are looking at now, events pertaining to the creation of all of this. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll stop here. I'm not gonna show anything more running, or perhaps I could just to show some live action here, that it's not just a dead machine here. So let's take this one, and then we call it busybox2. Okay, then I have to type like this. This will take a few seconds to start up. I'm basically, yeah, just running a busybox image interactively here now. And I named it busybox2. Be patient. I guess, I mean, the speed is impaired here by the fact that it's double virtualization. It's my host machine, and then I run the dev stack in KVM, and then also Openstack runs KVM for the master and Ninja nodes. Okay, but here it comes up. It has been given an internal address on the Flannel network. I should have external access from here as well. Yes, I do. So this concludes this little demonstration.